Salve ragazzi, un'altra nuova puntata del Calice Nero, ben arrivati, vi annuncio. Allora, prima di tutto, buonasera Magri Vanarca.
Buonasera, buonasera.
Secondo punto, c'ho Porco Dio Ciattoni. Meno male che Porco Dio, mica ce l'ho fatta dire subito, cazzo.
Porco Dio.
Metallized Blood Disaster, grandissimo.
Yeah,
allora, salutiamo la Global Records che è diventata appunto partnership del canale e ricordiamo che a gennaio ci sarà tanta roba underground, quindi si ritornerà molto sull'underground.
Ragazzi, stiamo acchiappando gli artisti succosi come Infernal che ci sta aspettando nell'anticamera di questo programma. Intanto gli scrivo in privato che tra 40 secondi ed entra in live. Intanto quindi, facciamo qualche annuncio, maestro, ti passo la parola.
Sì, quindi ragazzi ritorneremo sull'underground appunto nel mese di gennaio, ce ne sarà veramente tanto, gruppi italiani, gruppi esteri, quindi veramente ragazzi ritorniamo appunto nei fausti totalmente del Calice Nero come debuttava appunto, quindi veramente.
E poi ci saranno tante puntate dove letteralmente prendiamo in mano i CD, le tape che abbiamo, la memorabilia che abbiamo collezionato, che collezioniamo, che siano guilty pleasures giovanili, che siano cose, diciamo, chicche dell'underground più nero totale, ve le prendiamo e magari facciamo delle puntate tematiche, anche perché
degli speciali,
anche perché come sempre ci teniamo a supportare il fisico, il materiale fisico, quindi che non ce ne vogliate, daremo sempre la priorità e a voi oggi la priorità
la proprietà
tasto destro proprietà a chi ci manda il materiale fisico, ma anche quelli che acquistiamo, perché io ho appena speso un botto di soldi da White Wolf Prod, che salutiamo, per il mio compleanno che viene il mese prossimo, però ho detto guarda, ci stanno qua i dischi che fa. Appena comprato Churches Without Saints, grandissimo. Intanto tante persone che hanno richiesto i Desaster, vi ricordiamo che in descrizione dopo la live troverete i nostri link, le nostre attività principali, Libere Comunità, Artigianato, Arte Produce, Endless Fire e tutto, i nostri link per le donazioni e il merchandising e Instagram, e poi aggiungeremo anche il gruppo di discussione Telegram dove potete spammare le vostre robe, i vostri videoclip, e anche il gruppo proprio Telegram dove ricapitoliamo un po' tutte le puntate.
E ci siamo da tutte le parti, in poche parole.
Siamo proprio come la peste nera da tutte le parti.
Peggio della peste.
Peste noir. Comunque,
allora,
senza indugiare, invitiamo Infernal in live, quindi io mi svesto della proprietà di linguaggio italiano e mi vesto da britannico. So guys, give a warm welcome to Infernal from Desaster. Hello Infernal, welcome to il Calice Nero. Yeah.
Hello, cin cin.
Cheers.
Guinness.
We are really stoked about this episode because we are really amazed. A lot of people actually in the comments, Stefano, Porco Dio, which means God damn it actually in Italian.
Quando ti conoscerò Porco Dio,
a lot of guys here loves Desaster, and we are really honored to have Infernal here on the show. So without further ado, I will pass the word to the maestro, the mighty one.
Maestro!
For the first question in Italian. Speak Italian, maestro. Vai, maestro.
Allora, Infernal, parliamo subito dell'ultimo disco perché mi interessa particolarmente molto, Crucial Without Saint 2021. Voglio sapere assolutamente tutto su questo disco, aneddoti, in saletta cosa è successo nel mentre che stavate provando, quante appunto situazioni avete cestinato per poi riportare in auge, appunto a galla per creare nuovi riff, nuove parti di batteria. Veramente voglio sapere completamente tutto su questo disco.
Okay, so the first question is about everything you can say about the latest full length Churches Without Saints that we want to remind to the people. It was out in June 2021, if I am correct, I hope, via Metal Blade Records.
Ciao, Capitan Impaler.
So, Infernal, can you tell us about the... Maestro says everything about it, but let's make an order. The first part of the question is about how you guys, the composition process, how you guys get together to make this album, and how was the process behind it in the songwriting?
Yeah, you all know about the situation in the past 2 years. We have some pandemia. So it was a shit. Yes,
Yeah.
it was a really shit. But we had a lot of time, to rehearse for the new album. So we spent a lot of time at the rehearsal room. Of course, not only playing music, but also drinking a lot. Cheers. And yeah, it was cool to concentrate on the album, and it was the first album with the new drummer. Perhaps you know we changed the drummer in the last years, and it was the first album with the new drummer Hont. And it was a real pleasure to play with him, and we recorded the album in our own rehearsal room. So it was like recording in the living room, and it was very relaxing, and it was a lot of fun we had. And I think you can hear it on the album. Of course, it's not a funny album, but we were very much focused on the new songs, and so I think the whole album is a very, very, very good Disaster album.
Okay. Also, the maestro ask if you have some behind the scenes, some funny stuff that you can tell us about the process of the recording and composing. If there is an episode in particular that you can share with us about that period of time. Not everything can be shared in public. We know, but
Yeah. There was a cool story because we wanted to have a old school sound for the album. So the guy who recorded the album, he brought a very, very big mixing board, a soundboard with him. So nearly the whole rehearsal room was filled with this old mixing console, with this mixing desk, So we were standing like this and playing, and everything was packed with equipment and stuff like that. And yeah, that was really cool. But the secret things I won't tell you.
Man, damn it, manach. We need to stick with your. But by the way, we try to. If send me your card. some rock and roll stuff. Let me will be proud of this. Ok.
Fantastico, oggi veramente.
About maestro, ce la faccio domanda sulla cover.
Sì.
We know in the Calice Nero, usually the maestro asks you about this topic, but I will now I will make these questions.
Okay.
It's about the cover art, and if technology helps me right now, I want to make it appearing on the screen. 3, 2, 1, pam. Okay. This is, by the way, the Encyclopedia Metallum page. Of course, you can see you guys the cover art. Can you tell us about the concept about the cover art and also the colors and all the visual aspect? If the people are going, of course, people buy it and support the band, but if the people have to have the first approach to this Digipack, I think Digipack Jewel Case Edition, how you guys make the conception of the visual art and music together about this album, Charged Without Saints?
Yeah. We gave the title to a Brazilian artist, to a Brazilian painter, and we said, okay, the title is Churches Without Saints, so we want a church and we want saints. That was quite simple. And yeah, we had in the process of the painting, we had some discussions about what kind of saints we wanted on the cover. First, it was a female saint, and our singer was no female saint on the cover. That's not good, because it was all men bringing all the bad things over the world, in the past centuries, and this is what the title is all about, that we think we are now living in modern times, and we don't need anymore any saints. And of course, everybody can have his own belief. He can believe in whatever he wants. But what happened in the past, there were a lot of bad things happening with especially the Catholic Church.
Yeah. We know something.
You're from Italy, Yeah, the Catholic Church did a lot of bad things in the past, and this is an album against not only Catholic and not only against Christian religion, but institutionalized religions are fucking shit, and this is what all the title is about and the cover shall mean.
Yeah, a sempiternal theme that is actual nowadays, because of course on the daily news, I don't know in Germany, but in Italy we have every day some scandal, some things that about the Pope and that shit, pedophiles and stuff. It's a daily shit, you know. So by the way, you can tell whatever curse words you want, because on Il Calice Nero censorship is not existing, so be sure to
so Vaticano is not listening now. That's
no
good.
Vaticano is not listening, but
Vaticano.
Maestro will make a special episode about white metal soon, so don't
okay.
Okay. Meanwhile,
there are some good bands as well, but
everyone
the lyrics are shit.
But as we say in Italian, everyone has some dark side, so we take the good side, no? Ognuno ma anche i suoi difetti, insomma, diciamo in italiano. Ok, Infernal, some pause for you, so I think you can drink some non-alcoholic stuff that you have, because we are family friendly now. meanwhile you drink your own beer, please don't get drunk before the maestro question, because you can go, of course, twisted. I make, as always, guys, the translation, and for all the people that are complaining about the translation, I will be as much quicker as possible, so we don't want to steal time to Infernal. Ok, ragazzi, abbiamo parlato dell'ultimo album, che è appunto Saints Without Church Without Saints. Ok,
no,
sono poco
anche poco
mi sto facendo influenzare. No. Allora, posso dire una cosa, secondo me Infernal è come è lo zio che tutti quanti vogliono avere alle cerimonie, quello che sa
veramente una figata di intervista, una figata, sta uscendo veramente
one times. And we are all on the first question. Ok, quindi abbiamo parlato dell'ultimo album che è uscito sotto Metal Blade, abbiamo parlato della cover art, che appunto è stata fatta da un artista brasiliano, praticamente hanno fatto proprio una sorta di titolo, hanno dato il titolo e hanno dato il concept, e anche attraverso la musica hanno creato la cover art. Per quanto riguarda invece gli aneddoti buffi, diciamo fuori Coset, sono successe varie cose che non ci può raccontare, ma ho messo del culo, abbiamo capito, insomma. Per quanto invece riguarda la questione proprio tecnica, è il primo album con il batterista nuovo, quindi c'è una nuova linfa vitale alla band, ma soprattutto c'è il cane. Aspetta, let me zoom it.
Grazie, che il gatto.
True Metal of the Steel. No, comunque aveva comunque una situazione nuova, perché c'è un nuovo batterista, quindi c'è nuova linfa vitale, ma poi soprattutto c'è una nuova, si respira nuova aria nei Desaster. Ok, quindi abbiamo detto
allora
leggiamo un attimo la domanda di Stefano.
No, ma volevo dire una cosa.
Vai.
Grazie a Margherita.
Dimmi.
Siccome Yuri Michelini, che non riesce a vedere i sottotitoli di YouTube, la traduzione, come deve fare? Io spieghi 2 secondi, così almeno.
Allora, per tutti i ragazzi che vogliono i sottotitoli, sia su YouTube che su Facebook, in basso a destra c'è un pulsante che sta scritto l'icona CC, sono sottotitoli automatici. Quindi potete avere una sottolineatura molto, cioè una sottolineatura molto, diciamo, en passant. E la traduzione la cerco di fare sempre in maniera molto streamingata, per non far perdere tempo all'artista, se no ragazzi non ci facciamo nessuna domanda, devo tradurre parola per parola.
La traduzione le stavamo facendo,
la traduzione ha senso. Quindi diciamo che nell'ultimo album, che appunto dei Desaster, quindi lo ripeto, Church Without Saints, c'è un nuovo batterista, ci sono stati si è tutto sviluppato durante la pandemia, quindi hanno potuto comunque comporre in tutta tranquillità, letteralmente bevendo e suonando, detto proprio lui. E quindi poi sostanzialmente le tematiche, come ben sapete, sono comunque anticristiane. Si è parlato comunque del ruolo politico del Vaticano, che non è una tematica nuova, ma una tematica sempre eterna, perché tutto sappiamo benissimo che
Sì,
puntualmente nel notiziario sempre qualcuno di quella merda lì va a finire per qualche nefandezza che fa. Questo non significa comunque fare tutta l'erba un fascio, però non è il calice viola, non è il calice rosa, è il calice nero, quindi vaffanculo il Vaticano, detto proprio in maniera...
Salutiamo anche Raven degli Exterminas, che è un gruppo che black metal che poi entrerà nel canale underground, e Capitani Impale degli Infernal Goat, e poi scoprirete perché una cosa.
Ok, intanto facciamo la domanda di Stefano. There is a question from Stefano, our buddy Stefano from Naples. I'm from Naples too, so ciao Stefano. Is a technical question for Infernal. In his own opinion, which is better, German beer or Italian wine?
Oh,
this is a tough question, you know. Tough question.
Because when I had the dinner some hours ago, I had a great wine from Sicily, Vino Siciliano, and it was very good wine. And it depends, you know, if you are eating, then wine is better. But if you just want to get fucked and drunk, you know, German beer is fucking good.
So it depends about the situation. If you want to make it, for example, during the lunch, during the dinner, or when you are more like in a different situation, you go to the wine. If you want to smash your head, you go in. Another question that is very important, because there were a person which had a lot of help to the Italian scene called Baffo Jorg. So Paul Coddio ask you if you get the chance to have a photo with this historical promoter, Baffo Jorg from Rome. You recall some memory or you do not remember?
I don't know. Did he organize a show for us?
Yeah, he organized, if I'm not mistaken, a festival called the Metal Massacre. Back in the days, was one of the first promoters that did things seriously in Rome, in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Ovviamente senza togliere niente agli altri, però
it's a long time ago. I think all my memories are in this glass now.
ok, so Paul, ovviamente la questione di Baffo che non se lo ricorda. Per quanto riguarda invece la birra tedesca, serve per spaccarsi a merda, mentre il vino serve per fare gli eleganti durante la cena. E tra l'altro lui ha avuto un vino siciliano molto buono. Sicilian. You need to taste the Sardinian wine, because of course I'm from Napoli, but the maestro is from Sardinia. In Sardinia they make the Cannonau, which is a cannon literally. So
I have to go there.
In case get in touch with the maestro, send your address, he will send to you a pack of wine.
Pack of vino. Very good.
Allora,
vai maestro, next question, maestro. Next question, vai.
Perfetto. Se invece ritorniamo negli anni indietro, proprio nel debutto del Desaster, quindi The Evil Dead Will Risen Again e The Fog of Avalon, voglio capire su questi due prodotti quanto i Desaster sono rimasti uguali, intatti prima, quindi al debutto, rispetto ai giorni attuali, al nuovo millennio. I Desaster quanto si sono sgrezzati o quanto sono ancora grezzi, però senza perdere quel mood, e quanto l'underground in generale, tramite internet, tramite tutte queste tecnologie, ha avuto dei passi indietro invece di avere dei passi avanti. Cioè domande precise, dirette oggi.
Sì. The first question, this question is about, of course, your sorry. I'm only drinking water actually, so I have problem. Okay, sorry. The question is about.
Be sick.
Scusate, non ho capito.
You must be sick, so you drink water.
Yeah. I please don't touch this topic, because people shout to me and make fun of me every time. But the question is about the first two demos, 1981, 1989, and 1993. The Evil Dead Will Rise Again and The Fog of Avalon. Those demos are one of the favorites from the maestro. Actually, he wants to ask you if you can recall some memories about those days, the first days of Desaster, also the evolution of Desaster lyrically, musically, and how you guys lived the underground back in the days. How was different than now?
Okay. I have to travel back in time now. So
back
let's
in the future.
go back 33 years, I think, back in time. Yes. It was in 1989 when we did some noise. We were little kids, and we didn't release the first demo. It is called the Evil Dead Will Rise Again. It was only some rehearsal stuff. We recorded with a little cassette recorder, in the rehearsal room. We were just making some noise and having fun and drinking beer then. It's not much different from today, but okay. In those days, we never thought that somebody will be interested in our music, because in this time it seems that nobody was interested in some extreme metal stuff in our region. So it was very underground. We only gave some tapes to some friends, So it really started with Disaster when we released the Fog of Avalon demo. It was in 1993. Yes, correct.
Okay.
And this was the first real output
real
of
product. Okay,
it was
so
the first
the first one, the Evil Dead Will Rise Again, is more like a rehearsal tape that you guys made with something like this, basically the record.
Yes, exactly.
I have it. And how was the situation? Because of course nowadays it's easier to record and publish music. How was the feeling when you got the tape for the first time? Back in the
Yeah, it
day?
was cool. It was really cool. When we first released an cassette and we got the response from the people, we were overwhelmed. We haven't never expected somebody will like our stuff. So it was really great. When you are a young guy, you want to show what you can play and what music you have written. And if there's some reaction from the fans and they say, "Wow, that's great! I love this. I want to buy a T-shirt," and I expect you to record an album. That was really great, and that pushed us a lot. Back in the first years, nobody was interested in us, so.
Okay.
So it was not that good, but later it was really great, and I can really remember when I had my first record in my hands. We released. It was a split 7-inch single in 1995 with German Angott, and that was a great feeling to have the first vinyl in your own hands. Great.
And we know, of course, that Germany is the most metal country of Europe. I won't say the word, but basically, from Germany, a lot of interesting band came out. You, of course, included. And how was the scene back in? When we are joking, we are joking. We are serious now because we really want to give to Caesar what is. Come si dice in inglese? Want to give you credit about what you did. How was the situation in Germany when it started? Because of course, in Germany, a lot of festivals started. A lot of the most important record labels are from Germany. How is the situation back in the first 90s in Germany when you
Yeah,
released
also
it?
when we started in the 80s, we already started. There was nothing.
Yeah.
There was only the Monsters of Rock festival, and there was no Wacken or some other festivals, and also in our regions there were rarely concerts, and there were no clubs we can go to, and we have to organize everything for ourselves. So the first Disaster shows, they were self-organized. We did shows for ourselves and for some friends, and then it was developed and it was bigger and bigger and bigger, and so it was a lot of do-it-yourself in back in those days in the beginning. Today it's much easier, of course, for the bands to record something, to release something, but the market is overflooded, and in those days even our noise was was recognized, and that was of course cool.
Okay. Maestro, vuoi fare una domanda prima di fare la traduzione ad Inferno? So, another question
No,
for
fai la
Inferno.
traduzione
Okay,
tranquillamente.
so another minutes of pause to you, and I'm making the translation for the people that are watching. By the way, thank you. Yes, you can. Meanwhile, I'm translating. You can drink. Don't worry.
Una figata.
Allora, ragazzi, abbiamo
Dopo
parlato dei
fantastico.
primi anni dei Desaster. Sì, sono i Desaster oggi. Sì, a posto. No, che ogni tanto me ne dubbi. Praticamente abbiamo parlato loro sono attivi dal 1988 e il maestro ha giustamente parlato della loro prima release, che The Evil Dead Will Rise Again. Veramente non è proprio una demo, ma è più che altro una cassetta, una leasing tape fatta con un recorder molto raffazzonato di una loro prova. Quindi fondamentalmente loro hanno registrato le loro prove e hanno iniziato a far circolare il nome, poi il tape trading e tutto il resto. Il vero e proprio demo è proprio The Fog of Avalon, ma poi il loro primo prodotto visto proprio in mano è lo split con Young God del 1995. Si è parlato comunque della genuinità e anche e soprattutto della primordialità di una scena tedesca che stava iniziando, dove non c'era assolutamente niente, dove ovviamente lo spirito giovanile, l'aggregazione giovanile è soprattutto qualcosa che stava nascendo e sarebbe diventato, diciamo, parte della situazione. Non c'era ancora tutte queste label, non c'erano ancora tutti questi festival, c'era un po' di Monster of Rock, ma il loro spirito era quello comunque di essere crudi e di essere molto gli parlo di fare rumore, diciamo, questo è proprio lo spirito giusto. È uno spirito che comunque si è mantenuto nel corso degli anni, si è evoluto, ma cerco di mantenere quel grezume primordiale, cerco di mantenerlo sempre. Per quanto riguarda invece la situazione underground, ho detto prima, ovviamente era più difficile farsi notare, c'era più una questione di tape trading, di scambi, di lettere, eccetera. Invece adesso c'è troppa esposizione e diciamo si è un po' incasellato tutto il movimento giovanile, il movimento metal, chiamiamolo come lo volete, si è un po' più che incasellato, ordinato, c'è un posto nel mercato, prima non c'era un posto nel mercato per queste cose. Quindi veramente loro che sono attivi, ricordiamolo, dall'88, primo demo uscito nell'89, quindi 32 anni fa, ovviamente hanno visto proprio tutta l'evoluzione. E poi tra l'altro, ragazzi, io secondo me, come ho detto allo stesso Infernal, loro comunque sono stati uno dei gruppi, secondo me, trash, black metal, chiamatelo come volete, che dovrebbe stare, non dico al pari dei Creator, ma quasi, se non meglio dei Creator, per quanto mi
molto
riguarda.
meglio dei Creator, sì, molto meglio, concordo.
Allora, ciao Minasiri, facciamo la domanda
sì, perché è interessante.
diciamo ovviamente di
Akilobator.
There is a question from the guy Akilobator, actually, asking you some curiosity about your label deal. He said, you guys are under Metal Blade Records, but Nuclear Blast have printed your single in vinyl. And people that are not in the music industry wants to know how it's behind. There is some license going on. How it works? Because, for example, Dark Tranquility announced the reissue of their T-shirt, but they are from Century Media, but they are from Season of Mist, for example. And I think that there is an interesting question for the people that maybe are not too much inside the music industry. How it works, and can you explain how you guys are with metal blade and stuff like that? Can you make a range of question about your label and label deals and stuff like that?
Yeah. I can understand that this is interesting for the people, because sometimes it's very weird what is going on there. It's all business, you know that there's a big vinyl boom now again. Nobody wanted to buy records in the 90s, but now it's a big boom and a big hype, and everybody wants to have vinyl on wants to have LPs. And of course, the record labels, they want to make money with this. And it's common nowadays that the record companies give license, as you said, to other record companies. So if a new album is coming out, it is unleashed in a lot of different versions. I'm not a fan of this, I must say. Our last album, Churches Without Saints, was released, I think, now in 11 different vinyl
so
version.
many editions.
It's I can't understand, because a diehard fan of Disaster, of course, he wants to have everything, and it's I think we don't want to rip off the people. We don't want to get their money. They should have enough money to buy some beer and not only buy Disaster records. So too much. It's too much.
Even
So
for example, also Cannibal Corpse made like dozen of version of vinyl. The one green, the one school gray. I mean, it's like a collector item, like this.
Yeah, but collector item is a rare item, and we don't need 11 different colors of the album.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I can assure you that we have some discussions with our boss, with our Metal Blade boss in Germany, about the next record. We only want to do maximum 4 or 5 different versions, because it's a lot of diehard fans. They say, sorry, but I can't buy everything. I say, you don't have to buy everything. I don't want you to buy everything. But he said, but I must have everything.
Okay, understood. Ok, ragazzi, quindi praticamente a parte che la Metal Blade c'è il distaccamento in America e in Germania, però il vinile perché è uscito sotto Nuclear Blast? Perché si tratta di business, quindi loro hanno un nome, il loro logo è registrato e quindi comprano la licenza sostanzialmente per poter usare questo nome, e loro sono stati anche un po' contrari alla scelta della label di fare 11 versioni, un po' come Cannibal Corpse per esempio, tra l'altro anche sotto Metal Blade. E loro infatti hanno avuto discussioni perché tanti die-hard fans non avevano i soldi per comprare tutte le 11 versioni, quindi loro preferiscono fare meno versioni ma permettere a tutti di avere la propria copia. E dice che c'è stato un boom dei vinili, quindi giustamente la Nuclear Blast, tra l'altro per esempio Yellow Effect pure l'ha fatto uscire solo in vinile per adesso, quindi diciamo che hanno un po' la loro pallino per i vinili cassette, insomma quelle che è, e quindi loro, quindi per tutti quelli che si chiedono questa cosa, loro hanno il contratto con Metal Blade, ovviamente anche l'arte produce, che è la nostra etichetta, se contatta Metal Blade potrebbe comprarsi la licenza per i Disaster, quindi è una questione puramente commerciale. Ok, maestro, vai con la tua
allora,
another question for you, as always, before in Italian and no, just, ok, perfetto. Okay,
se rimaniamo sempre negli anni 90, però a fine Fire Dominion, questo disco è il Fires Dominion 1998, quindi rimaniamo nei fine 90. Ok, tutto a posto?
Sì, tutto a posto. Tra l'altro anche un disco, il Fire Dominion, anche un disco che molti leggo che è stato molto apprezzato, quindi è anche il primo disco che ho approcciato loro, quindi
infatti vorrei capire come questo disco potrebbe entrare all'interno di qualche pellicola ultra underground. Si parla di film, si parla di un documentario. Come riuscirebbe questo disco a reggere il ritmo tra una pellicola e un documentario di splatter, gore, killer?
Già vediamo che fai il sorrisetto. So I'm explaining the question of the actually a lot of people said Hellfire Dominion, one of my favorite record, my favorite album, etc. So we want to we want to go out of the box a little bit with not asking the same question. We want to ask you, if you have to choose a movie, an horror movie, gore movie, whatever you like, that can have Hellfire Dominion, the album, as a soundtrack, which kind of movie you will pick? Also, the maestro said also some really noir documentaries, stuff like that. How you can manage this question?
Okay, then I would choose a classic Dracula movie, and the soundtrack for the classic Dracula movie with Christopher Lee, of course, would be our Tyrants of the Netherworld album, because there the song is included Rips of Dracul.
So the Tyrants of the Netherworld. If you have to choose a movie for Hellfire's Dominion, which kind
for Hellfire's Dominion, okay. Oh, okay. Hellfire's Dominion would fit.
Of course, we like the answer because we love Christopher Lee. Personally, I love Christopher Lee. He's in Valhalla right now, but I'm sure that he's watching. Ciao, Christopher. But of course, you anticipated my own question, which was about, of course, the Tyrants of the Netherworld. But a lot of people asked about Hellfire's Dominion. Which kind of movie you would like to put as a soundtrack?
That's a hard question. I would choose I would choose a classic Poltergeist movie, because when I was a child, I love this old this Poltergeist.
Poltergeist, okay.
Don't know what it's in English. Shit.
I can research a little bit if you can
Yes.
type. Okay. And why you choose this Poltergeist movie? For what reason?
Yeah, because it's old. It's very old, and
only for this reason.
Old as well.
Okay. No, you don't have to treat yourself like this. You're not... Ok, praticamente ha fatto, in realtà ha capito male la domanda, perché ha risposto per quanto riguarda inizialmente Tyrants of the Netherworld, dicendo il Dracula con Christopher Lee, il classico Dracula. Però, per quanto riguarda, lui ha nominato Poltergeist come album, un classico, che dovremmo cercare il nome in italiano. Inferno, if you can type me in private the name of the movie, you can make me a favor so I can show you on the screen this last one, the Poltergeist one, perché adesso non mi viene in mente, poi siamo un po' tutti frullati stasera, quindi non è che sono molto... No, comunque abbiamo parlato comunque dell'album Hellfire Dominion. Ha scelto questo film perché è vecchio praticamente, quindi
sì, perché la cover è molto figa, la cover mi piace molto. Allora,
Poltergeist, ok, ho capito. E praticamente sono i film anche un po'...
Luigi.
Sono anche un poco, diciamo anche un po', come posso dire, almeno leggo un po' anche introspettivi, insomma, quindi ovviamente in descrizione mettiamo tutte le informazioni che vi servono. Salutiamo anche Luigi.
Che avremo appunto inserito.
Tra l'altro si parla, Luigi Scarpa non è il regista.
Sì, un regista che finalmente avremo.
Appunto abbiamo parlato di film. We are talking about films, and we had the pleasure of to get joined us from Luigi Scarpa, which is a great director of movie in Italy. So perfect time. And about the sound, faccio la domanda, maestro, between Hellfire Dominion and Tyrants of the Netherworld, I want to ask you the process of the evolution and also the inspiration. That if you go back in time, there is something that you want to change, or you will do the same as you did years ago. And what were the soul and the aims about those two records, Hellfire Dominion and Tyrants of the Netherworld?
Yeah, good question. Because these two albums are recognized as the most popular ones of Disaster, I think. And yeah, I won't change anything about them. I like them both. It's like if you have children, you can't choose which is the better children or something like that. Of course, one child has good character, and the other child has some bad parts, of course. But you love them all, you know. And
okay.
You can't change them, of course, and so no, I'm still satisfied, and it's I think they have stand the test of time. You can listen to the albums, and I think they are still very good if you listen to them now, and so I'm very proud of those two albums. Yeah.
Ok. Really quick about the previous question. Allora, ragazzi, Poltergeist, Steven Spielberg, il nostro Presenze demoniache. In Italian is called Demonic Presence. The film that you mentioned. So 1982, Steven Spielberg. It was great. And about the two records, you said they're like childs, you know. And I'm asking to you if there is, I think that, as you said, they are still actual nowadays, even some years are passed by. And we want to let you know that, of course, in my own opinion, I get you discovered with Hellfire's Dominion, but also in my iPod, in my little thing that I listen to music while on train. Also, I have some records here. I got a mix between those two albums, and I want to know in a nowadays set list, if you have to compose a set list from every song of your career, which how many songs from these two albums you will pick? You will make one song, for example, only one / two song, or we try to I don't know if I explained me in a good way, but what were your visions and your feelings about those songs played live in a live situation?
Yeah, of course we have to choose every time we play live what songs we play, and of course we try to play songs from each album. But I think from Hellfire's Dominion we played the most ones. You know, we have the classic tunes, Metal as Blood. I think if we don't play this song, the fans will kill us. So we have to play it. And also Teutonic Steel is from Hellfire's Dominion. So I think it's still present. It's from 1998, but we still play two songs at least from this album, and also from Times of the Netherworld we play. We just played in Romania, and we also played two songs from Times of the Netherworld, and of course from the new album we played 3 songs, because it's the new one. But from the other albums we only played one song.
Okay. So it depends from the place you will play. Actually, the set list. The
No.
okay.
No. It depends. It's always we have to choose what are the most popular songs, of course, because we don't want to disappoint the fans.
Okay.
We don't want only to promote the new album, that the people buy the new album. We want that the fans have a good time. And of course, they like the old songs, so we play the old songs.
Okay. Before translating, there is a question from again Akilobator or Kilobator. I don't know the correct pronunciation. It's a more personal question. He wants to know if you you have only being a musician as your main job, or you have other jobs to do in the same time as musician. There is a question from this guy that maybe wants to know more about you and your personal life, if you can tell, of course.
I can give him my telephone number later. No.
Pretty private. Only fans.
No, of course, we are all in the band. We have our regular jobs. We earn our living not with the music. We have just normal jobs, and the music is a hobby. Of course, it's more than a hobby. It's our life. But we don't have to. We don't depend on the music. You know, we can go to the rehearsal room when we want. We can go and play live when we want. We can go to the studio when we want, and we don't have to do it. You know, so this is the main reason, I think, why we are still hot and why we're still around, because we are not exhausted by the touring, the recording every year. So this is the main reason why we are still here, and I think we deliver good music.
Okay. So, of course, music is a good part of your life, the main part of your life, but you guys, of course, have other activities in parallel, so you can basically make the album whatever you want and tour whatever you want, basically. More freedom. Okay, good to know. Okay, meanwhile, again, some pause for you if you want to drink more beer, and I'm translating what we said. Allora, praticamente abbiamo ultima domanda, traduciamo subito per Akilobator. Scusami per la pronuncia, Akilobator, spero di dirla bene. Allora, loro praticamente non sono musicisti a tempo pieno, nel senso che non lo potrebbero essere, ma vogliono essere un po' più liberi per non stare sempre a comporre, sempre a fare tour, quindi hanno una vita parallela che fanno con dei lavori normali. Per quanto riguarda invece la domanda del maestro, i film, abbiamo parlato comunque di Presenze demoniache, come film per l'album, quello lì praticamente il Sphere Dominion, mentre lui ha risposto anche per Tyrants of the Netherworld il Dracula, praticamente di Christopher Lee, lo ripetiamo. Invece io ho fatto una domanda riguardante l'approccio che c'hanno per i live, e loro mi ha spiegato che cercano di fare comunque delle setlist che non sono a marchetta, nel senso che non sono fatte solo per promuovere l'ultimo album, solo per promuovere il vecchio, insomma fanno una situazione per divertirsi loro e di far divertire i fan. Quindi ad esempio in Romania hanno fatto una scaletta, da un'altra parte ne hanno fatto un'altra, cercano sempre di coinvolgere anche attraverso i social, da quanto ho capito, i fan attraverso domande, richieste, scalette, roba varia. Quindi loro sono molto attenti a questa cosa, e soprattutto anche dalla domanda dei vinili, poi l'abbiamo riscontrato, loro sono anche molto attenti al, diciamo, portafoglio dei fan, che dicono la gente perché deve spendere mille versioni del vinile se ne può avere comunque 3 o 4, quindi sono molto umani sotto questo punto di vista, e apprezzano anche molto i fan che ovviamente rispondono a loro e si divertono. Ecco, questa è la cosa. Poi maestro, non so se ho dimenticato qualcosa, mi pare che ho detto tutto, spero. Ragazzi, fatemi sapere nei commenti se
No, no,
dimenticato
dimenticato nulla.
Ok, ragazzi, siamo frullati, anche noi abbiamo la nostra vita
Sì, però
parallela, ovviamente. Non
io
viviamo solo di
vorrei
Calice Nero,
entrare in una sorta
purtroppo.
di arte, però non quell'arte raffinata, arte molto molto grezza, molto minimal, molto come un pittore che va proprio fuori di testa, schizzato, che butta dei colori così gettati a caso, però secondo Infernal, questi colori gettati a caso, come potrebbero descrivere l'animo dei musicisti durante il live, durante le prove in saletta?
Okay, I hope to translate the question, which is very interesting in my own opinion, from the maestro. He compares basically your music to a, let's say, crazy painter, so with colors and violence and stuff. And he wants to know which kind of painting, using your imagination, of course, you can create using your music, but also in relation also of the environment that you guys have in the rehearsal room. But we know we both play drums. Me and the maestro are two drummers, actually. We know the chemistry of the band in a rehearsal room is the most beautiful. Rehearsal room and the live situation are the most beautiful places if you love to play music. So we want to know, with the chemistry of your rehearsal room, which kind of crazy painting you will create with the music of Disaster.
I think it might be some kind of painting of Dali, for example, because yeah.
Also, no, because my nickname in Italian is a kind of parody of one of his provocateur sentence that he made to a journalist. So I love Dali. For this reason, I'm happy. I love Salvador Dali.
Yeah, I love his art, and I think he was also kind of a crazy guy, and it's like he was like we are. I don't call myself musician because I'm a fan of heavy metal music, and I try to express myself through my music with the guitar. But I'm not a musician because I'm not good. You know, I'm not a good musician. But I think I'm a good songwriter, and I think I can express some feelings through my music. And I think this was the same like Dali was kind of guy.
Okay. You have a particular painting, particular opera of Dali that you want to recall, or just Dali in general? Just because we love art, so we would like to be more in depth.
I think there's the famous painting of was it Guernica? Was it from Dali?
No, I think this was not from.
Was it not from Dali?
Guernica was the painting from Picasso. Actually.
Picasso, it's Picasso. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Picasso also, or we got, for example, in Italy, we got a whole movement with this kind of strange thing like the futurism, no? During the avant-garde movement, which a lot of critic musicians say they are like the punk head and the metal heads of art, the futurists, because they make some crazy stuff. And
yeah. You know the cover paintings of Nasty Savage of the band. They also have some explanation kind of covers, and I always love that, and I like that. No, I don't have a special.
So Salvador Dali in general. So.
Yeah. He was just crazy, I think, like we are.
Yes, we are. Not, of course, he's like on another level, but we try to imitate his craziness. But I'm sure that yeah, we have this common love for, of course, expressing ourselves during making music, because I think that it's like a bet. When you express yourself, you do not do for the people, but you do for yourself. Of course,
No.
if
Yeah.
people like it, it's a good thing. But of course, we are fun with us because we love to play music, we love to compose and stuff. So
I will tell you a
it's
secret.
interesting, really
Of course,
interesting answer.
of course, I love to play live.
Mm.
Of course, it's great if you get the response from the audience. But the best thing is if you are in the rehearsal room, and I like to be alone with a glass of beer, glass of wine, some cigarettes, and then I'm composing, and this is the most fucking great thing, you know. If you create music and you listen it for the first time, and you feel like, wow, that sounds so amazing. This is so great. This is a great feeling.
I love this answer actually. I want to ask you, Infernal. A lot of musician recalls the studio session something cold in comparison with the of course the rehearsal room and the live situation. Cold not only in terms of temperature but also in terms of atmosphere. Do you agree with them, or what do you think about the process of recording?
Yeah.
And how was it changed during the years? If you have some opinions about that, just to complete the circle of being a musician, actually.
I can easily understand this sentence because if you are new to a situation, new to a studio, it's of course cold. You are not. It's not your home. You know, you have to travel somewhere. It was like we did in the past. We traveled to some other cities and recorded somewhere, and it was always also a cold feeling. And it's better, I think, if you record it in your own rehearsal room. You know, so it's like home, and you have a better feeling, and it's more natural. It's more natural. Of course, it's also not bad if you are in a new situation, and some cold feelings are also not bad for heavy metal music.
Okay.
But in general, I think it's better, and we will stick to it, and we will record in our own rehearsal room again. It was great.
Okay. Of course, you tell us at the beginning of this chat that the last album was practically made at home during the pandemic. So we can recall this feeling listening the last album, actually, because it's kind of warmer than the previous one. Because
Yeah.
I think that we feel this in some way if we listen closer, maybe with headphones, isolating ourselves with opening with the booklet and reading stuff, as we always do. I love doing it, actually. I think that this kind of warm situation we can recall it. And Inferno, translating a little bit, we got, unfortunately, because I'm loving this interview, actually, and I hope you're having fun too. We are going near to the end of this interview. So we got the last question, and before making you the last questions, I'm translating what we said.
Okay.
For the Italian guys that we asked us, and thank you.
I'm taking an outside.
Ok. Mentre lui rientra, traduciamo. Per quanto riguarda invece la situazione del dipinto, lui ti ha citato Salvador Dalì e Picasso, Guernica maggiormente, a livello di caos. Poi ovviamente gli ho citato anche il futurismo, ovviamente, dove molti, per esempio nel libro Lord of Chaos, non nel film, hanno detto il futurismo come precursore del punk e del metal per la questione di velocità, della violenza, eccetera, eccetera. Poi si davano pure le mazzate durante le serate futuriste, ma questo è un altro discorso, un po' il poco, no? Che facciamo, il mosh, il poco che si fa in questi show. Per quanto concerne quindi dice che non c'ha una sua un sua opera particolare, che poi io l'ho chiesto, essendo fan di Dalì, il mio Nick penso che l'abbiano capito, che viene dalla storpiatura di una frase di Dalì detta a un giornalista. Lui dice che è anarco-monarchico, e quindi mi sono inventato il Margrave anarca, no? Questa cosa mi piace ricordare a tutti, questa cosa buffa, anche per prenderci un po' per il culo, fondamentalmente, tra cattivo maestro, Margrave anarca e gente che comunque si diverte quando fa queste cose, giusto per chiudere la parentesi. Abbiamo parlato invece della situazione live, dove comunque loro come diceva prima, loro non fanno questo di mestiere 24/24, sono liberi di farlo, e quindi loro amano proprio il contatto con il pubblico, l'espressione che hanno di loro stessi mettendola su musica. Quindi loro è una questione proprio che a loro piace.
Ecco, il gatto è tornato.
E poi praticamente ha parlato anche, io ho chiesto ma come la vedi lo studio di registrazione, lo vedi freddo, lo vedi diverso? Dici quando è una cosa nuova certamente la vedi più fredda, perché loro tipo si spostavano per registrare eccetera, poi quando hanno creato il loro home studio per loro è tutto più naturale. Infatti soprattutto se sentiamo l'ultimo album, e non so se sei d'accordo con me maestro, è un po' più caldo il suono, diciamo, dell'ultimo album, che si sente che hanno una bella chimica.
Diciamo me, che è meno ruvido.
Meno ruvido, ma comunque un po' più caldo, diciamo. Ecco qua, The Infernal è tornato tra noi. Eccoci,
allora, partiamo con le ultime 2 domande. Solo che
l'ultima la lasci sempre a me, maestro.
Sì, ma l'ultima te la voglio lasciare perché ti voglio vedere come ne esce poi.
Che sono ammazzo, maestro, vai.
Ha citato la birra, ha citato il vino, voglio vedere un po' come ne esce.
Sì, certo.
Allora, i Desaster, Infernal, secondo te cosa hanno costruito in tutti questi anni? Hanno costruito un qualcosa di diverso rispetto alle altre band black thrash metal, o hanno creato un qualcosa di molto più evoluto, molto più sofisticato, ma con quell'atto old school? Quindi come siete riusciti a distaccarvi dal genere stesso?
Okay, so the question of the maestro is about your sound. Of course, we were also talking about a little bit meanwhile you were not on screen, and we can recall that after all 2 years, Disaster have their own unique and signature sound in their production. In fact, we discussed a little bit about the difference between the latest album and the older one. So the maestro wants to ask you how you guys are aware about the impact, and also the way that, of course, Disaster are in a way unique in terms of sound, and some suggestion to develop the style, and also how you guys had in mind something like this, or there is a process that comes natural when you started to compose, because you said, of course, before you express yourself through the music. So he wants to know a little bit about this part, because of course people say, oh, it's black thrash metal, but for me and for the maestro, Disaster are Disaster, and they have their unique parts. And how you feel about this question, this sentence?
Yeah. Perhaps you see the album in the background. It was our debut album. It was called A Touch of Medieval Darkness. And I think in those times, it was recorded in 1995 and released in 1996. There we didn't find ourselves, you know. We were fans, of course, like we are nowadays as well. But in those times, we were very much inspired by Norwegian bands and by Norwegian black metal stuff. Of course, we already had some thrash elements on the debut album. Just listen to a song like Devil's Sword. It's like Destruction, you know, like old Destruction music. And but we didn't find our own style already, you know. And this was later with the Hellfire's Dominion album. I think we found our own style, which is a mixture, as you said, between black metal, thrash metal. Of course, we have also normal heavy metal influences, death metal influences, because we like all styles of heavy metal music, but mainly it's black thrash. And of course, we are proud that we are one of the I won't call us forefathers of black thrash metal, but I think we were one of the first who did some mixture like this, together with Destroyer 666, together with Askio, the band from USA, you know. I think that we were the first guys who play some mixture of black and thrash metal, and it is, we have our signature sound. We developed in a very good direction, and I think on every record you can hear that it's Disaster playing.
For sure, yes, for sure. Okay, so, and if you can recall just the before last question, actually, because I'm curious. If you have to say, I know that it's difficult, so please don't kill me. The best 3 records, in your opinion, that influenced the way that you guys play in Disaster. You named some Destruction, some Norwegian band, but if you have to pick the most crucial 3 records for the development of sound of Disaster, which records you will pick?
I would choose Ride the Lightning of Metallica.
Okay.
I would choose Raining Blood of Slayer, of course, and I would choose Buffery, The Return.
Actually 3 great records.
No, gli ultimi Battery e poi?
Battery, The Return, e poi
The
Slayer,
Return.
The Return, Slayer, ovviamente,
Cosa hai detto dopo i
e
Battery?
Ride the Lightning dei Metallica.
Ok.
Quindi diciamo che abbiamo capito più o meno la pasta di Disaster. Per quanto concerne, I'm translating really quickly before the last question. Per quanto riguarda invece il loro sound e black thrash metal, abbiamo detto che comunque hanno un loro sound particolare, che sono stati infatti i primi a mischiare i due generi fondamentalmente, anche perché poi hanno fatto gruppi come Absu dopo, e poi tanti altri gruppi sono venuti e hanno iniziato a mettere insieme, insomma, i due diciamo sottogeneri. Però loro sono stati influenzati dal thrash, dal primo momento, dalla prima e seconda ondata black metal, e poi da tutto quello che c'è in mezzo, quindi il death, eccetera eccetera. La loro situazione è quella proprio di esprimersi nella loro interezza, da quanto ho capito, e mettere proprio sul tavolo tutto quello che a loro piace. Quindi questo è anche un invito, secondo me, per tutti quelli che magari iniziano un progetto nuovo, che giustamente ma faccio più quella cosa così, quella cosa lì. Loro sono stati tra i primi a sviluppare questo stile. Comunque è un ponte tra il trash e il black metal, e forse tra i primi 4, se non il primo a farlo, e che comunque ha dato modo che da questo, diciamo, da questa situazione si va a sviluppare tutto un altro filone che oggi comunque è molto diffuso nel genere. Pensiamo, in Francia ci sono tanti gruppi, per esempio viene in mente oppure stesso in Italia tanti gruppi che fanno trash, black metal insieme, quindi sono stati un po' i precursori di questa musica, e poi hanno nominato i 3 dischi che sono Ride the Lightning dei Metallica, Raining Blood dei Slayer e The Return dei Battery.
Perché trash, black trash possiamo Destroyer 666,
e infatti hanno nominato lo Absu, Distro 666 e loro come, diciamo, i big
se no proprio trash, Toxic Holocaust, altro nome grandissimo.
Sì.
Absu,
nomi che comunque hanno proprio marchiato a fuoco questo sottogenere, che tra l'altro poi hanno, non voglio dire cacate, però da questo poi si è sviluppato poi il famoso war metal, no? Quindi quella cosa, quindi diciamo che va dato loro, cioè, spesse volte non si parla di Disaster, ma non perché sta qui Infernal che lo diciamo, ma veramente penso che sia un gruppo che ha bisogno un po' più di dare a Cesare ciò che è di Cesare, che ha bisogno un po' più di grido, perché comunque è seminale, diciamo.
Quindi poche parole, quella è la risposta alla domanda che ho fatto.
Esatto.
Comunque ragazzi,
ultima domanda
a gennaio, che ci sarà un nome molto molto scomodo ai fulisti di merda. Preparatevi.
C'è proprio
preparatevi, perché è stato fatto adesso, nome italiano, che è veramente scomodissimo per tutti.
Vi siete scordati esatto,
sì,
anche loro, hai ragione. Polco Dio, mi sono dimenticato,
perché non fa video interviste purtroppo, né audio, peccato.
No, purtroppo non ci ha risposto Pic, quindi vedremo.
Io non li lascio, però sono grandissimi.
Ok, so the last question for you is the question that we always make at the end of Il Calice Nero, but we need to make some different things than usual, because you of course said beer, you already said wine. We want to know, since Il Calice Nero means in English the black calice, you know, there is the icon, no? The calice. We want to ask you, if you have to exclude wine and beer, which is the best drink to represent Disaster?
No beer, no wine?
No beer, no wine, because you already named it. Will be pointless, this question. I'm making some examples because the maestro know my example, because they are marked, because we had a really good chance to interview the big of the metal music, like Disaster, of course, but also Sandy next, that he made his own cocktail. He describes his own cocktail. People say the black coffee. People actually said also some strange craft wine, craft beer of making in the wasteland of nowhere. I don't know, but which is the perfect drink to represent the
That's easy.
music?
That's
It's
easy.
Which
That's
one?
easy. Disaster is milk. Milk.
Milk.
Latte.
Latte.
Latte. Because we live in an area with a lot of cows, you know. So
Aspetta,
it
milk,
fits very good to Disaster. It's milk.
puro o corretto? E questo
The maestro asks if it's pure milk or milk and alcohol together, milk and some alcoholic together mixed.
Milk and vodka. Yes.
Milk and I think that this is like the Olympus of the answer of this question. Sorry, Sentinels guys, you named the screwdriver, but for now the example that I will make when I'm doing this question to the other guests will be milk and vodka. Okay, and if you have the chance, we are Italians, you know, so we need to make this one because of course we are having good time and we hope that you will have a good time too. We talk about drink, but which meal will can represent Disaster as food
Which
wise?
meal?
Yeah, food wise.
Something with kartoffel, you know, with potato, because we're from Germany.
Kartoffel.
Patate.
Some with potatoes. Okay. Patate, yes. Patate. Potatoes. Interesting. We need to, Maestro, you need to try okay, vodka and milk, okay, but also with potato too.
Yeah, that's
on the same table. We will call the Disaster, actually. We can call it. Okay, Inferno, it was a pleasure to have you here. Very fun interview.
Devi rimanere 2 secondi.
If you can stay with us even some minutes after the live stream,
yeah,
just
of course,
to make
no
some
problem.
reading. Okay, if you have time, thank you. Guys, Infernal from Disaster. As always, before closing the live stream, I want to tell you, Infernal, if you have some free space, empty space at the end of this interview, if you want to say something to il Calice Nero fans, Italian fans, but also metal fans in general, you have your spot before ending this marvelous episode, actually. One of the best of the channel.
Allora.
Thank you very much. Thank you much to you two guys from Italy. Thank you very much to the other heavy metal maniacs in Italy. We are always enjoying our time being in Italy, having good wine, having good food, and enjoying ourselves in the sun. We don't have this in Germany, you know. So it's always great and a pleasure to be in Italy, and I hope we can return soon. I remember first time we played in Italy was in 1999. So we have soon to be there again. See you.
I hope really. And guys, if you want to support, of course, Disaster, go on their social media page, buy the records, buy stuff, and also share this interview with the other fans of black metal in general. If you want to know some interesting opinions from Infernal of Disaster. By the way, I will thank you, Infernal, again. Really was the funnier episode of this year. I can say we will at the end of the year we will do like the top episode of il Calice Nero, and I'm sure that this one will be on the first on the top 3 for sure. Maestro, fai il tuo epitaffio finale e intanto ringraziamo tutte le persone che sono state live su Twitch, su YouTube e su Facebook. Noi ci vediamo giovedì. Noi ci vediamo giovedì col sottoscritto. Non so se domani il maestro c'ha qualche...
Domani sono gli Assisotomi, se tutto va bene.
Ci sta Adimer che salutiamo. Adimer o Giacinto che salutiamo. Vulak. Ciao Vulak De Giorgio.
Allora,
vabbè, non ne sto azzeccando una stasera. Vai maestro.
Allora, ragazzi, quindi preparati per gennaio che ci sarà un nome molto scomodo. Questo significa che non guardiamo in faccia a nessuno.
Grazie, Varg, intervista a Varg sul canale.
No, nome italiano scherzando. Che è veramente molto scomodo. Che non
Augusto, ciao, un abbraccio.
Grandissimo del Golem di Cristallo.
Guardate quella
veramente
puntata col golem di cristallo.
sì, grandissimi, che non pensavo che avevano accettato, ma hanno accettato, un grandissimo. Mi sa, quel gatto secondo me muore proprio. Allora ragazzi, prima di tutto saluto
Altro
la
gatto, io ho
Clover,
detto cane prima, vabbè, sto frullato oggi.
no, saluto la Clover Records, che questo è il materiale che ha mandato appunto Rebecca Collis, che è della proprietario della Clover Records, che partecipi del
Il
canale.
nostro nuovo partner, che ringraziamo, thank you Club
Sì,
Record.
nuovo partnership del canale. Allora
Poi
ragazzi,
qualcosa deve arrivare sempre pure a me, giusto maestro? Non è che ti
sì, sì, deve arrivare, no, deve
arrivare.
arrivare cosa anche a te da altri gruppi. Adesso vedo un pochettino,
Ok,
come
ok.
iniziare alcuni nomi tipo
Intanto
Hardcore
vi lasciamo il
School.
banner. Sto vedendo Inferno là sotto. Vi lasciamo il banner redazione.ilcalicenero@gmail.com per promuovere i vostri progetti. Vabbè, oggi.
Comunque ragazzi, il grande spettacolo non si fermerà mai, la morte vi renderà liberi e il sacro codice d'onore è 000.
See ya in the next episode. Good night.